I was writing Twitterville and I came across a story that showed me how being kind to the public, being kind to your customers, being concerned about the world can really, really screw the competition. For years it had had a public campaign for responsible drinking. And they tried to differentiate themselves from other beer competitors, particularly one named Labatt, who showed a lot of young people partying all the time. And Molson took a more responsible public relations view. In 2009, many governments had cutbacks. In Montreal, where both of these companies were located, the city announced that it could no longer afford to have public transportation run for free all night on New Year's Eve. It was too expensive and they had to cut back $80,000. So Molson said, we're in favor of responsible drinking, and this is a night where everybody drinks. So what are we going to do? So they stepped up and they said, we will call upon the local merchant community to replace the $80,000 that the government has to cut back. And we'll put up the first $20,000. And you know what? In the interest of public safety, we call upon our worst competitor, Labatt, to join us. It was very nice. They announced it not in a news conference, they announced it on their blog. And at the time, Labatt didn't have a blog. And then they got their employees to start talking about this on Twitter. Where it caught on, where I heard about it on Twitter. It started being called something that Molson had never said. It started being called the Molson Challenge. Well, what's Labatt doing? Well, a whole week went by, which on Twitter is like the Ice Age going into the pre-Pleistocene age. And finally, the newspapers caught it, and Labatt did read newspapers, and all of a sudden they saw a page one article about the Molson Challenge. And now they had two choices. They could follow the thought leadership of Molson and support responsible drinking and match $20,000 to what is now branded as the Molson Challenge. Or they can say, no, we're not going to get sucked into that, and then favor irresponsible drinking on New Year's Eve, which is really not good community affairs. When I wrote about this in Twitterville, I used the phrase lethal generosity to describe what I thought Molson had done. And a couple of people, particularly a friend in Canada, said I should write a book about it. And I said, okay, great idea.